All right, so I'm excited to have everyone here, and we'll record this that way that anyone who's not on can listen. I'm excited about today because Lindsey is going to talk, but I'm going to make you talk at the end. I hope you don't care. Um, so first, I just wanted to do a few quick announcements, and that was about Super Saturday. I'm going to just go over things briefly because I posted the team page, and Lindsay had kind of shared what her and Robin had learned, which was neat. So, they have the new vegan flavors, cafe latte and vanilla, which I'm super stoked about. And um, I don't know. I always love it when Beachbody comes up with something new because I feel like it's exciting. It's something that you can promote. And I always find that anytime there's something new, more customers, I tend to get a little bit of an influx in people who are interested in what I'm offering. Even if you've been offering Shakeology for the past 2 years, all of a sudden there's a new flavor and it's vegan, and then they're kind of inquiring about it. So what I would recommend, especially if you like the vanilla or cafe latte, change your next packet to that, and then kind of promote it a little bit. Use this as an advantage to your posts, and talking about the vegan options, because there's a lot of people out there who don't like the flavor of whey protein, which is what's in the regular Shakeology. A lot of people who are doing this, dairy free is like a new fad thing. I always worry about how it's going to do to people's bones, but that's the medical person in me. But so a lot of people claim that dairy is causing bloating and has inflammatory effects, and I don't really know I haven't looked into that, but a lot of people are doing dairy free things, and so this is a really good option, I think. The two new workouts, I made that video, I posted that live video, and then I realized it was really grainy. But I know someone posted it in Goal Getters, and if you look in the Coach Online office under the Coach Breaking News, there is, you can watch like the promotional video. Hold on, I made these slides. Shift Shop is the first one, and so Shift Shop is the first one, which is like agility training, and it looks good. I think I'll probably do it. It looks like you need a little more space. It's something totally different than anything I've done. It kind of reminds me of Shaun T's Asylum, which I've not ever done, but it's like based on the infomercials. And then the UB2, which really looks interesting. And at first I was disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I came home from Super Saturday and I was disappointed that these were the two workouts that are coming out. That is just me being 100% honest. I was like, seriously, this is what I had to work with for the next year? Like, I'm supposed to get new customers based on these two things. Like, these don't speak to my market, is what I was thinking. And then I kind of decided to stop being so negative about it. And I thought, you know what, let's look at this as an advantage. How is this going to help me reach more people or new people? And so the UV2 looks corny as all get out, but I think that a lot of people might like it. And a lot of people, especially older females, it's got a very interesting, heavier set group of people who are doing it according to the infomercial. So that might be really appealing to people who are super intimidated by a lot of the other workouts. And I will probably end up doing that one. Dennis will be like, I can't even do this in the same, I can't even watch you do this probably, but just kind of for fun. And then, the other kind of agility training. And, again, I guess I haven't really quite figured out where I think I'm going to try to take advantage of that. For people maybe who are runners or training for like triathlons or marathons, it's very much like an agility, fast-paced training. So, you just have to, what I've learned with this is, don't make assumptions that because you don't like a program or you don't think a program looks good, that your customer isn't going to like it. And just keep your options open and offer things to everyone and still go through the consultations, because these new programs are going to be perfect for some people, you know, whether or not we think they're going to be perfect for us. So that's just what I wanted to say about that. I don't think there's really anything else about Super Saturday besides I just love going to them. I mean, I do think the live events are super neat. I think that there is the ability to really learn from other people outside of our team, which is a huge advantage. So this is kind of going somewhere else, I guess, but getting to my point. So once you become Diamond, you get to be part of these corporate groups, like a push to 1-star Diamond group and a Diamond all-star group and things like that. And the advantage of them is you get to talk to other people who are in the same boat as you, but who are on different teams. And I had put a post because I was looking for a success partner outside of, you know, Lindsey's team or Christina's team, because I wanted just like someone like me, someone who worked full time, someone who had kids, someone who was a Diamond, who was pushing for the same things I was pushing. And so I found this girl who's a nurse practitioner, and that's kind of a long story, but we've had some conversations back and forth, and it's just really helpful to get that feedback from other people. And I think what Super Saturdays do, and I just realized it this Saturday, is it allows, if you open yourself up and talk to other people, it allows you to ask questions to other coaches and find out information of what are their teams doing. Do they run free groups every month? What is their new coach training like, you know? And you can really learn a lot from people on other teams. So that's what I wanted to say about that. But really quick, I just wanted to do a few quick kind of I don't know, like techie things. And I think a lot of this stuff I just assume people know. And so if you know it, I apologize. This is probably going to be really boring to you. But if not, then hopefully this helps. But I know we have some new people on the team that might not be familiar with this, some of this stuff. And it's all about phone apps. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see it? Oops. Someone give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Yeah. Okay, so apps. I'm going to start with the photography apps because I think that most of us probably know these, but I recently have discovered a new one that I just had to share with you guys. So I'm going to just go through this from the beginning for those of you who don't. So WordSwag. These are probably the ones that I use most often. WordSwag is really neat. You can get preset backgrounds. You can make your own backgrounds. It kind of has really neat wording and fonts. Rona Designs. Rona is what I usually do as my announcements for a Success Club, which I apologize because I haven't gotten around to it yet this month, but you can do some banners in addition to different like fonts and words, and it's really user friendly. And all of these, by the way, are free. I don't pay for any of the extras with these. Photofy, I know that's a favorite of a lot of people's. Michelle and I know Lindsey use that a lot, and they have different stickers, which I like about Photofy, that you can use and you can just like type in, and it's got stickers for everything, but also really easy to just add text. Pic Collage, if you want to do a collage of pictures, it's pretty self-explanatory. Pick, Play, Post. I had been using this, although I had recently listened to a thing about like pages. I was trying to learn about my like page, and they had recommended not using Pick, Play, Post, even though you can do, 3 different workouts, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the pictures never turn out in good quality. They're always really grainy and blurry. So I've since kind of tried to not use that as much and started using just the iMovie, which is automatic on the iPhones, and those pictures are much clearer. You can do some different things with them. Here it is actually right here if you're looking for it. If you don't have an iPhone, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. But the Pick, Play, Post is good. I like it because you can do a collage with movies, but like I said, I listened to this call and they did say like it's just not great quality. People probably aren't going to stop to watch it because of the quality. I don't know, take it or leave it. Canva, I'm still not as familiar with the app. I downloaded that after one of the team calls that Lindsey did. I don't know if you guys listened to that, but there are some really neat options for editing pictures with Canva. But what I'm most excited about, you guys, this newest thing, it's Insta Beauty. And actually, Melanie Mitro uses this. I saw this blog that she did because she always looks so pretty in her videos or in her photos. And she said she uses this Insta Beauty. And so you can literally, you guys, it's crazy. You can make your smile bigger. You can make your eyes bigger. You can even slim your face. There's like a body slim. I haven't tried it because I just started playing with it this week. I'm like, oh my God, I can do before and afters and not even have a transformation, just slim my body down, But you can add makeup if you're not wearing makeup. And for me, I don't ever wear lipstick. So it looks kind of a little bit too much. But honestly, I had watched something a while ago and they were talking about, you don't have to be a glamour shot every time and look great, but you want to, I don't know how to word this, like you want your picture to be somewhat appealing, you know what I mean? And so sometimes, like, especially this is what I did in my post last night with my before and after. I used Insta Beauty in my after picture and it just was like unblemished. And I feel like it just made me look that the picture just looked crisper and cleaner. And it just helped me get my point across. You don't have to use it. It's kind of phony. It's like, I don't know, what's it called when they do them on magazines or whatever, but you should at least play around with it because it's really kind of neat. So anyway, photography. As far as the other apps, so these are two that if you don't have on your phone, I strongly recommend. Beachbody Links is basically you can send that link to anyone and it automatically takes them to what they need to buy under your name. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. So it's been a long time since I signed in. I'm fairly certain that when you sign in, you have to sign in under your Beachbody account because every link then at the end has an equal sign and then your coach ID. So if someone has a Beachbody coach that is not you and they're switching to you, you can't just give them this form. Even though your coach number is at the end of it, it will still go under the coach that they're assigned to. So this is not for coach switch forms. If it's for a very brand new customer, you can do it, although I'm going to show you TBB coach because that's what I recommend. But this is for people who were in a free group maybe and they signed up as an account, or they signed up as an account and they want to now purchase something, or they purchased something and they want to purchase something again. And so especially for the All Access Challenge Pack, I've been using this a lot because it's kind of confusing to find for people. So I just go through, if they say they want the All Access Challenge Pack, I'll say, okay, great. Have you thought about what kind of Shakeology flavor you want? Do you have, and then I go through that process. Say they want the chocolate vegan. You can click on, this one. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. You don't have to find out what flavor. But if they want the challenge pack, you click on the link, you send it to them, and then it automatically brings them to that Beachbody address, and then they can just sign out a lot easier. So it's somewhat easier than them going into your teambeachbody.com / your username website, searching for challenge packs, finding the right one, and going through that whole process. So I've found that some of my customers can navigate through better. Some of them just want to scroll through the Beachbody website, and that's totally fine too. I always give them the option. The other one is this TBB coach. And this is perfect for new customers. And it only works for customers someone who's never signed up for a Beachbody account. And what you can do is you can enroll them as a customer. You can enroll them as a coach too. Michelle, I know uses this. Have you ever enrolled someone as a coach? Because I think some coaches will enroll new customers as a coach, and do it kind of as a discount coach, but they have them buy the challenge pack and do everything from the get-go. I've never had a coach sign on who wasn't a customer of mine first. But when you log in, you have to log in under your coach ID, account information, which I'm just going to do really quick to make sure that I tell you the right steps. And all you need is their email address. It's super, super helpful. Oh. This isn't letting me sign in. But basically you go through that. It will ask you say whether you are enrolling a new customer or a new coach. And if you click customer, then it will ask you for their email address, their first name, their last name, and their email address, or something very simple like that. And you have to say yes, they give me permission. Then what you do is you go and you find what they want. And this, you need to be specific. You need to know what flavor Shakeology. You need to know if they want the bag or the packets, in what program. And then you send it to them. And what it does is it puts this, they get an email with a direct link. So all they have to do is check out and put in their credit card information. I don't use this a ton. I use the BB links quite a bit, and the TBB coach not a lot, but for people, especially I found some of my mom's friends who want to do things, they get on the website, they're very overwhelmed, they're confused. Then sometimes like at the beginning, I was sort of just losing people because they're like, never mind, forget it, I couldn't find what I wanted. And so this is super simple. The last thing, and I don't know how well this is going to work while I'm on a Zoom call to show you how to do a Zoom call, but is Zoom. And someone had asked me about making their own tutorial like I had made for the All Access. And there might be another way out there to do it. I think actually Michelle might use another one, so maybe she can go into that at the end of this. Zoom is, you do have to pay for Zoom. You can do Zoom without paying in a free format, but I think you can only get on a call for 10 minutes. Or 15 minutes. It might even be 30. I don't know, because I've paid for Zoom for a really long time now. So I'm going to try to do this while you guys are on here. So I apologize because I don't know as much about the free version. That's something that you would have to look into. If Zoom is $15 a month, you do get a 15% discount as a Beachbody coach if it's something that you want to do. So when I make a tutorial, you guys can see this, right? Okay, I hope that this doesn't kick us off, because I've never gotten on a Zoom call when I was on a call. Oh, it's not going to let you. And I can do a tutorial because I use Zoom. But basically, you download Zoom, you have an area where you can host a meeting, you start a meeting, you're the only one on there, and then at the bottom, you click record. And so obviously there's no one else on there. You click record, you make your video, whatever you want to do, and there's an option at the bottom that will say share screen. So if you want it to be your face, you can do just your face. If you want to do like a tutorial on, for example, the Beachbody On Demand, you have that pulled up on your computer, you click share screen, and then it shows your desktop screen. They can go, then you can walk them through the steps. So it's super simple. Honestly, I think Zoom is what I use for all the videos that I make for my challenge groups. It's super user friendly. It's easy to do. You can record it right to your computer. And so then it comes up, you just drag and drop it into YouTube, and then you can do that. And so, so that's what I do. It's probably, honestly, for the $15, I know that adds up over time. If I had to choose between Teamsy and Zoom, what to spend money on every month as a coach, I would pick Zoom. So, I like Teamsy, but Zoom is really helpful. You use Screencast, Omatic. Okay. Is that super user-friendly too?
I don't think you can do a call from it.
Okay.
But it's very easy to do a tutorial type video on it. And it's free.
Yeah. Honestly.
So when my first video, I just Googled, how to make a tutorial video. And that's what I came across. I knew that you and Sarah had used Zoom. I think somebody used YouTube. I don't know, but I couldn't figure those out. So I just did something else, but that works really well. And I think it makes a really nice video. But.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully that's helpful for people. Like I said, some of it might be reviews, but if it's not, I didn't know about Beachbody Links for like the first year of my business probably, and I kind of wish that I would have. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Lindsey. So Lindsey Francis, how long have you been a coach? Are you coming up on your 1-year anniversary?
I think it was just like this past week.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
So for those of you, who don't know, and I'll try not to spoil what you're going to talk about, Lindsey, but Lindsey joined a year ago, and I just love Lindsey because so often we listen to morning wake-up calls, and we always think that people just have success like jumping out of the gates. And I know there's a lot of people, on our team who feel like they're struggling and like they're alone in their struggles, or feel like maybe they're not meant to do this. And there's not even, I should say, on our team, just in general. And for some people, they can be doing all of the right things, but it just doesn't seem to come together as easily. And so for me, this was watching Lindsey. I would always watch Lindsey, and she would join all the new coach groups. She'd participate, she'd jump on group calls, she'd post every day. Like, she would do everything. She had a great transformation. And she was like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm getting people to join my challenge groups, but not a lot. And I can't sell a challenge pack for the life of me, I'm like, I don't know. You're doing everything right. I don't know what even to tell you. And I don't know, you went for like a handful of months struggling, and then all of a sudden you hit like Success Club 8 and then Success Club 10, and all of a sudden it just clicked and everything came together. And I think it was the month before you hit Success Club 10, or 8, I think, which was the first time you had hit. But what Lindsey had said was, I think you had watched a Melanie Mitro video because she was a teacher, and so you could relate to her a lot. And you had said, like, I really want this, and I'm not ready to quit, and I'm not ready to give up, and I don't care what it takes. I'm just going to keep like giving it my all. And all of a sudden, there you were. And so, like, I always just love Lindsey's attitude because she never let it get her down. She might have gotten disappointed by it at times, but it was never an attitude thing where you were like willing to quit or give up. So anyway, without further ado, I wanted Lindsey to just share like her experience as a new coach and maybe what she learned or what she did, or I really left it up for her to talk about whatever she wanted to talk about. And hopefully some people can relate to her and use this either for themselves or for their own coaches as they sign on people who maybe like seem perfect for this, but just take a little longer to kind of find their niche.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. So I started actually almost already a year ago, which seems crazy that it was a year, but I originally was kind of going back and forth between being a discount coach and actually trying to work the business. And I think it was just, confidence of if I could do it or not. But I had done hammer and chisel, and I had a good transformation like in January and February. And so when I signed up to be a coach, I shared my transformation, and there were so many people that commented, and, so then I got excited that I was, going to go for it. And so I started messaging people, and people were supportive of me, but I just felt like everyone I talked to already was somehow like affiliated with Beachbody. Either they already had a coach, or they had just, people already had the 21-day fix, or they had T25, or just, it was like everybody that I was talking to already had a program, so they weren't really interested in buying anything. And so I signed up at the beginning of April, and I really did not sell my first challenge pack until like the middle of July. So it was a couple of months of, just keep trying and talking to people, and then it not working out. And it is discouraging because you're in like the new coach group, and you're in these different things, and you see other people, and they're like a coach for 1 month and they're already emerald. And so it's hard not to compare yourself and, that kind of thing. But I had to realize it wasn't just me. Like, a lot of it is just kind of, I don't know if it's the luck or whatever of who you're already friends with. If you sign up for Beachbody and you have a sister and your best friend and they're, going to jump right in and do it with you, then you're going to hit emerald right away and it's going to be really easy for you. But, I knew I had, people at my work that were already Beachbody related. I had, other friends, another friend that was already a coach. Brianna was, like all our college friends. So, I didn't have that like instant market, I guess. I kind of had to work through the people that I was friends with and, kind of keep going. The other thing was when I first posted my transformation picture and and even Brianna posting that I was going to be a coach, I had people that messaged me and liked my pictures and things like that. Those were the people that I talked to in the beginning because I was nervous to start messaging all these people that I didn't normally talk to on Facebook anymore, old friends and that. And so I was really only talking to people that were liking my stuff, and those just happened to be people that were already into fitness, and that's why they were liking it. So I think that after I started getting more comfortable and just kind of, figuring who cares if I just, start messaging all these old friends and different people and start, reconnecting, then I think that kind of helped me get in touch with some new people and kind of open it up a little bit to get some different interests. But so basically, I didn't have anyone, and then it was like Bree said, it was like all of a sudden in July, I finally sold a challenge pack, and then it seemed like kind of boom, boom, boom. I had a couple of good months, and but throughout the year, I've had like good months and then bad months, and I know it's my own consistency. I feel like I'll do good with power houring and messaging and all of that, and then I'll have some good months, and so I kind of like lean, don't press as hard or don't spend as much time, and then the next couple of months you can kind of tell that because then I'm not hitting Success Club. So it's kind of, I know that I need to work on being consistent all the time with that. But really, as far as I had to just realize that we're all different and that we are, it's okay that we're all on our own pace. And really, I just had to think that I don't want to quit because for me, this is the only thing that's working for me to get in shape. Honestly, like used to love to go to the gym. I used to love to go and do classes. There is no way that would fit in my life right now. Between working full time and Andy working full time, he coaches in the evenings. With 2 little kids, they're already in daycare all day. It's just not going to work. So for me, I'm going to be doing at-home workouts, and I know if I don't coach, then I'm probably not going to keep working out. I just know that about myself. I think this accountability has been huge. And so that's one thing that's kept me into it. I really like Shakeology. I felt a big difference in myself, and it's helped me a lot. So that's, again, helped me wanted to continue coaching. But also I think remember, like on the months that I'm not hitting Success Club and, maybe getting frustrated or starting to think like, oh, am I going to be able to do this or not? Just remembering the feeling when you have helped somebody, like even if it's just one person that you've helped get back into working out. That's such a great feeling to know that you were the one that inspired them, or you were the one that helped them, or helped them keep going, or keep going past when they've lost their motivation. So I think focusing on that versus focusing on I'm not Emerald yet, or I haven't sold my Shakeology or challenge packs, or I haven't hit Success Club, like keep it focused on helping other people. And I know for myself, I feel like the confidence, like just not feeling confident that, you know, I don't always feel knowledgeable enough to be helping other people. I'm definitely getting better, but I think in the beginning, you know, I'm not super athletic. I wasn't in super great shape. I have a hard time eating healthy. So in the beginning, it was hard to talk to other people and say, hey, do you want me to help you? Because I'm still working on helping myself. So I think for me, trying to work on my own confidence and stuff like that has helped. In the summer, I read the story or the book, How to Be a Badass, or I forget what it's called, but it's like about, you know, just being confident and building your own confidence. And so I would recommend that if you're having trouble with that. The other thing is I still, even now, because I will catch myself thinking like, I would never want to run a Super Saturday. Like, I would not want to get up there and have to talk to all these people. And what would I even say? I wouldn't want to do that. Or thinking about, you know, Lindsey having so many people on her team, or, you know, so part of me is like, do I even want to be a coach? Because I don't know if I want to do all that. But I think you just have to focus on one day at a time and focus on where you are right now, because, you know, even in just the year, I feel like I've learned so much and learned about myself. And, you know, even though it makes part of me a little bit nervous to have a whole team, you know, Robin joined me, and I feel like it's been so much fun since she joined. You know, it hasn't been, I don't feel like pressured that I have to lead her and help her and do all this stuff. I feel like we're doing it together. It's given me like a bigger push and a more confident. So I think focusing on taking everything one day at a time, just be where you are in that moment, and know that as you're growing that, you know, you'll be able to handle whatever is coming along. But I do think you just have to decide, you know, if this is worth it to you, then you have to be willing to just go on your own pace, and whatever that is, that if you just keep going, eventually it's going to happen. So hopefully that'll work. But I think that's pretty much it.
That was perfect. I love that. I was going to ask, so if you read a lot of personal development, if that helped you like kind of get over your, like, kind of just help your mindset with it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the same thing with everything else. I feel like I've had good times and where I'm reading a lot, and then times when I haven't been as much. But it definitely has helped me. I read The Compound Effect. I did read like how to talk to and influence people or something like that, because I felt like I was, you know, just not sure, you know, with talking to people. I just felt like I wasn't very confident, and I feel like that one kind of helped. I just read, I'm in the middle of reading Eat That Frog. And just
yeah. Good. And I loved what you said about just feeling not overwhelmed, but like scared and wondering. I remember telling Lindsey at some point when I was an Emerald, and I said, I don't know how much more work does being a diamond coach entail? Because I don't know that I want to be a diamond coach. I don't know that I can do anything more than what I'm doing right now. And, you know, she had just said, you know, it's shifting what you're doing now. You're still doing the same things, but the things that took you a while before seem easier now. The conversations you're having just kind of roll off your tongue a little easier, and you know the answers to questions a little quicker. You don't have to, you know, Google things or look things up as often. And so that was always, I can completely relate to that, because I remember thinking the same thing. Well, I don't even know if I want this, if this is what I'm going to get myself into, you know?
Right. So I will say,
I have a question, Lindsey.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This thing's on such a funny delay sometimes. I wondered if, as you were, a few months in and not reaching people like you thought you would, if you shifted maybe what your niche was, or I don't know, did you change anything, or did you just kind of keep consistently doing the things you knew you were supposed to do?
Well, in the beginning, I feel like I really, even though I made my list of all the people I knew and things like that, I feel like I really only talked to the same people that I talked to before I even started doing Beachbody, or I only talked to people that happened to like my pictures, then I would go back and talk to them. And so I did like go back to my list and it was one day in the summer, and I just remember thinking, well, what's the worst that happens if they don't respond? Because at that point, the people that are on my list are all people I know. It's not, it wasn't random people that I'd added to Facebook. It was people I know. It's just people I haven't talked to in years and years. So I just kind of had to get over my own insecurities and just start messaging people. And it ended up being fun, to talk to people that I hadn't talked to in a while. And some people, the conversations were very short, and some people didn't respond, and some people, but I think that was one thing that I kind of changed. And also in the beginning, it was hard because I kept doing challenge groups, and I feel like I had a lot of people that would want to be in my challenge group, but they just already had programs. And so I just kept letting them join because I figured they're doing something, and it was better than having nobody. So I just let them join. And then eventually some of those people did end up buying stuff. I mean, I think Robin, when she first joined, and she was like going to the gym, but she just joined in the accountability part, and then eventually Shakeology and everything else. So,
okay.
I think that, in the beginning, definitely letting it be open to anyone that would be interested in, maybe eventually.
Yeah.
In. But,
so. But yeah, I feel like I could certainly use that advice now, though, too. I mean, I was pretty, at the beginning, I was pretty exclusive that way. If you didn't have a program, you didn't have to buy something, you didn't have a program, you couldn't join.
Yeah.
That was just kind of one of my hard and fast. I've gotten away from that a little bit. I've gotten burnt a few times, people that but I remember, and I don't know who it was, the goal getters that commented, and they were very upset that, someone had bought a program from another coach, but they were in their group. But then Lindsey said, and there's so many things about Lindsey that I just aren't me, but this really hit, and I think she does this very well. You just have to remember that person is getting help, and that's what you're there for. So to be about it or want that commission, you just have to go back to the basic of, they're getting help and they're working out and healthy, and that's what you have to be okay with. So anyways.
Yeah. It's a hard
So I tried to add in some of that.
Yeah. It's a hard balance, though, because sometimes I feel like if they haven't purchased something, they're not as serious. Not everybody, but sometimes I feel like they're like, oh, well, I have this program, I'm going to do it. Or I'm training for a race, and so I'm just going to run. Or, it's hard because it was like when we talked about how the quarter fourth group was so fun because everyone's doing the same thing. It's easier to focus it. So at least even if you're doing different programs, but everyone's actually doing a program, it's easier to focus the group. So, I mean, it's kind of a hard balance, but.
What I always think about is I've had tons of, I shouldn't say tons, But lots of people who have spent a lot of money on challenge packs, and
Mhm.
they're in the group for a week and then they disappear. And I don't hear from them, and they like stop responding. And so what I always think is it's easy for me to recognize the people who didn't buy something and fall off the wagon, right? Because I'm like, I'm trying to help you. And like I'm doing you a favor because, I'm going out of my way to help you. But then I also have to think I probably have just as many people who invest money,
Mhm.
and then I don't even know what happens from there, and those are the people that I actually really truly feel bad, because I feel like I'm really sorry this didn't work out, and I feel like I missed something on my end, but you can only do so much.
Yeah.
And Lindsey, I love what you said about like how you read books to meet you in the areas that you recognize you're weak. Like you're a badass, and just gaining confidence, and how to win friends and influence people. Just like having how to talk to people when you felt like it was going to be uncomfortable to talk to people. So I think that's just a huge takeaway for everyone, myself included. There's a lot of times I know I'm struggling in areas, and it's like just trying to find a book that speaks to me and where I can really try to improve on those areas.
Yeah, I think the books make a big difference, but I know sometimes I have a hard time, just consistently reading. And I've done some of them. I've done on audio tape too, which I feel like is better than nothing. But I feel like I reflect a little bit more when I'm actually reading versus listening to the audiobook. But again, just whatever you can fit in.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any comments or questions for Lindsey? No. Okay. I did want to tell you guys that I am doing a 5-day free squat and like sugar detox group that I'm having start the Monday after Easter. I am working on the script right now. I'm about 3 days into it from like the weekend. So I'm going to share it and be bold. My script right now is pretty specific to Easter, just because that's what I'm kind of focusing on is the Easter candy, like after Easter. I think it's probably about as worse as bad as Halloween. Like I go to the store and all I see is pink everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to handle this. But so feel if anyone wants to do the same group, you can do the same, you can, I'm going to post, I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to post the script. Feel free to promote it. I promise I will get the script in the page before the time is up. If you want to run your own group, feel free. Anyone can jump in with me to run. I think Jen and I might be running it together, although we need to touch base. If you're more than welcome to. I think it's even great to just do your own if you want to, like even if you only have 5 or 6 people, it's fun. They're not a lot of work when the script's already done, right? And for those of you who especially are new, I still do, the challenge tracker app, I think is where a lot of people are still doing their challenge groups. I still do my free groups through Facebook. I know the Coach University has like Hootsuite on how to post ahead of time for those so that you don't have to really spend a lot of time during the day. And so, yeah, it'll take like a day. I'll post everything ahead of time and get the people in there. And then probably because it's Easter weekend, not spend a ton of time talking to the people in the group during the weekend, but just those are the people who I'm going to talk to next week. Those are the people I'm going to be having my conversations with. So feel free to steal my script and use it. If you want to use it at a later date, you can too, but you just will have to edit out some of the Easter stuff. All right. Well, I am going to stop the recording.